one of your videos broke 100,000 views, and then the next few ones could not even break 10,000. Now, why exactly does this happen? It is very, very simple if you put it into this perspective. You see, every single person that watched your video watched it by clicking on the title and thumbnail, which means the click condition is exactly what made the video get a lot of views. So if you make the click condition of the 100,000 views repeatable, you get repeated outliers. But if you make it unrepeatable, then it is just going to be you throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping it sticks. That's exactly why you are not able to repeat your outliers. In simple terms, 100,000 views means 100,000 clicks. 100,000 clicks means 100,000 people saw the title and thumbnail and they felt compelled to click it, either through desire, curiosity, interest, or the series of other elements that make people click. So today we are going to dive into exactly why you are not able to repeat your outliers, the main reason why your click condition is not repeatable. And then I am going to show you exactly what the solution is, a framework that I've used in getting commendable results for my clients. Before we dive in, my name is Mukhtar and I work as a packaging strategist for creators, which you have probably seen, creators averaging millions of views. And I have also taken small channels with single digit views to getting thousands of views. So when I'm talking about packaging, trust me, I know exactly what I am talking about. So without further ado, let's dive in. You see, the first thing that prevents creators, especially expert creators on a topic, from getting a lot of views from a specific video is simply bad packaging and good topic. Because if you have bad packaging, it automatically means that you are going to have a bad click rate. And if you have a bad click rate, it means you are going to have extremely low views. And this specific creator is an example of that. This creator is an expert creator and they talk about AI. This particular person posted a video titled "I asked Claude to make me as much money as possible" and got 3,000 views on the video. Now you might be thinking, well, this is not so bad. But if you put it into perspective of what the specific creator is averaging, this is not that good. And even better, if you put it into perspective of other creators that created a video exactly like that, you are going to understand way better. If you look at this particular creator, I asked Claude to make me as much money as possible, 100,000 views. This creator, I asked Claude to make me as much money as possible, 400,000 views. Now, why did this specific person only get 3,000 views? Surprise, surprise, it is the packaging. At first glance, you might think, there's nothing wrong with this. But firstly, this looks very, very AI-ish. And a lot of business audience have recently been very, very cautious of clicking on AI thumbnails because they simply think that the content itself is also poorly made and it's probably AI slow, which means the click condition here is terrible and obviously made a good topic, a very good topic that has consistently went viral, underperform here. And the psychology of this particular packaging is also not on point, which is why this video inevitably underperformed on the channel as well as compared to other creators that tried this specific video. Now moving on to the second reason why your outlier is not repeatable, which is good design and weak strategy. If you look at this thumbnail, you might be quick to judge that, oh, this is actually a pretty good thumbnail. It's solid. It's not that bad, right? That is exactly what you are going to think looking at it from a design perspective. But when you look at it from a strategic perspective, from a psychological perspective, you start to see the cracks in this thumbnail. Let me explain exactly what I mean and you are going to understand now. If you look at this specific video, which is one of the biggest video on this on that channel, LinkedIn Ads Tutorial for Beginners 2026, the thumbnail shows you where you probably are and the outcome that you are desiring. So you are clicking this specific video simply because you desire this outcome and not solely because you are looking for a LinkedIn Ads Tutorial for Beginners. It is because you have the desire to make profits on there, and that is exactly why you are clicking. And if you now look at this specific video that only got 200 views from a channel that has gotten almost 100,000 views, the video says the complete LinkedIn strategy, $6 million spent and what I learned. This specific video has a lot more potential than this one because this has a very, very big curiosity anchor. It has extremely wide tension, which is the $6 million spend. I mean, how many people do you know that have spent $6 million on LinkedIn ads? Probably not a lot, right? So if this title had been better, this video would have gotten more clicks. But the worst part of this packaging is the thumbnail. The thumbnail is repeating exactly what the title is saying: complete LinkedIn ad strategy. Complete LinkedIn ads strategy. This is a terrible, terrible waste of space and a terrible way to package the video, especially if the title itself doesn't have enough tension. What do I mean? The thumbnail is there to widen the curiosity gap. If you look at any outlier I have shown you here, none of them are repeating the thumbnail. All of them are showing you either a result that you are desiring a process that you are admiring, or a consequence that you are avoiding. So the thumbnail job is to widen the tension. That is exactly its purpose. It is not to be there for decoration. It is not there to simply repeat what the packaging is saying. It is there to widen the tension, either by increasing the curiosity, increasing the tension, or giving a specific information that would make you want to click that video more. This specific thumbnail is just repeating the title, zero upside, zero reason for you to click. And what would have been the reason for you to click was bracketed as an afterthought. $6 million spent should have been the anchor of the title. I spent $6 million on LinkedIn ads. Here is the strategy that wins. That is an exponentially better title, and it would have probably performed way better because it now has tension. If the thumbnail had just shown simply $6 million spent, that would have been it. The video would probably have gotten a lot more views. This video is much more value packed. As you can see here, a 24-minute video, while this video was just 7 minutes, which means this video had a lot more effort to it, has a lot more value, and it has a wider curiosity gap and a bigger tension, which was the $6 million, yet it underperformed simply because of the packaging. And the last reason why an outlier often becomes irrepeatable is the title thumbnail mismatch. And this simply means your title and your thumbnail doesn't match. It doesn't go together. It's not compatible, basically. And this particular video is a prime example of that. The title, "You Are Not Bad With Money, Rewriting Your Financial Story with Melissa Means." And then look at this thumbnail. You can see how much it doesn't make sense. You would think that business creators are not going to make this mistake, but no, this person is actually a business creator with a $3,000 course. This video was a top of the funnel video, yet it was packaged like this. Watching this video, you would know a lot of effort is going into it, but the thumbnail is what made it get 20 views. It had a reputable guest on it, yet the guest was not featured on the thumbnail. It wasn't shown that this is a podcast, and there was literally zero things that showed that this particular video from the thumbnail is value packed, and it inevitably did not perform. And this title itself could have been way, way better. But even with this title, if the thumbnail had been a lot more clearer and shows what the video was about, it would have gotten a lot more clicks, because this niche, it has the most supporting audience of all, the female girl boss niche, basically. And the creators fumbled the bag simply because of the packaging. Now, I am not saying that every single flop is because of the packaging and every single win is because of the packaging. Sometimes trends, sometimes that topic just has a lot more upside, a lot more curiosity gap, or people are actively searching for it. But what would have given the videos a lot higher fighting chance, a much higher potential of getting much more views, is the packaging. So I'm not going to tell you that, oh, the packaging is the magical button to make every video go viral. No, there are still a lot more to the process. But for you to give yourself a fighting chance on the homepage, especially now where the competition is extremely massive, especially in the business niche, everyone now has their coaching, everyone has their funnels, everyone has their webinars. You have to be able to stand out, to even stand any chance of getting clicks. And the clicks is what translates to the views, which translates to the book calls, which translates to the sales, which translates to the money in your account. And that simple picture is literally standing between you and getting astronomically much more sales if you simply just master the framework that gets the top creators the clicks that translates into views. And this framework is the TKO framework, the exact framework that I've used to get my clients incredible results, and it is repeatable on any channel whatsoever. So let's dive in. Firstly, the TKO framework stands for title compatibility, overlap psychology, and key visual. Starting with title compatibility simply means, as it sounds, the compatibility with the title. Pretty obvious. Let me explain. This video is titled "Disappear and Come Back Unrecognizable: 7 Rules to Change Your Life." And the title compatibility here is 2026. Title compatibility, in essence, is basically the completion of the title on the thumbnail, widens the curiosity gap, and gives much more context on the title. Now, what this means here is that disappear and come back unrecognizable: 7 rules to change your life in 2026. Because the title compatibility here is showing you that this is because the year is coming to an end. And if you want to come back unrecognizable in 2026, watch this video. That is what it means, in essence, widening the gap of the title while giving it much more context and relevance. And then the K, which is the key visual, is simply the main thing that shapes the hierarchy of the thumbnail. Because when your thumbnail looks like absolute dog shit in the business niche, it ruins your authority. Why do you think that every 6-figure entrepreneur invests a lot into their thumbnails and sometimes even have more than 1 to 3 people working on thumbnails, it is simply because they know how much importance it holds. You have to look like the authoritative figure that you are trying to talk about. Imagine me trying to explain to you how to make $1 million, and I look like my thumbnail was made with ChatGPT with 3 lines of prompt. It ruins your authority and it starts to invoke skepticism in your audience. And a lot of the times they wouldn't click simply because of that minor issue. So the hierarchy is extremely important when it comes to the business niche, which is why there should always be a key visual that increases the authority and shapes the hierarchy of the thumbnail. And then there is the overlap psychology, which is basically what makes everything come together. It gives you an insight on what the video is going to be. It is the element of novelty in the thumbnail. I'm going to explain it further on the next thumbnail, but let me just show you what it means here. Overlap psychology here just shows that to get your money up before the year ends, this is what you have to do. Might not be clear, but it's going to be extremely clear when I show you this one. Now here, the title compatibility, as I have said, there is what completes the title. And if you look at the title here, if I wanted to become a millionaire in 2025, this is what I'll do. And if you look at the title compatibility here, it says start from zero. So what this title is saying is, if I wanted to become a millionaire in 2025, this is what I'll do starting from zero. So this video qualifies the people that clicks before they even know what the video is about, which shows that this video is for beginners that are trying to make $1 million or that are trying to become a millionaire. So this title compatibility completes the title. If I wanted to become a millionaire in 2025, this is what I'll do starting from zero. That is simply what title compatibility means. And then the key visual here, of course, is Hormozi and him pointing at the board, which is showing authority. And now a better explanation of the overlap psychology is simply looking at this board. The overlap psychology is the element of novelty. It is the element of curiosity. As you can see here, you would want to know what every single one of these things mean. The blueprint shows you that this is a blueprint. This is a step-by-step thing. And then you want to know what the steps are. And that is exactly what you clicked for. The psychology that brings everything together and makes it make sense, if that makes sense. A little bit of wordplay. No, so moving on, that is exactly what is here to the overlap psychology, which is the desired result, the key visual, which is this person, and the title compatibility, which is LinkedIn. That is basically what CKO is. If you look at every single top business creator, or even every single creator at large that are successful, they are consciously or unconsciously using this specific framework. And it is a pattern that is across every single thumbnail that you can find. But before you go, there is a trap that almost every single creator falls into. Before we talk about that, honestly, I want every single person watching this video to win, because I understand that if you watch this video to this part, you probably care a lot about your content, which means that you have a lot of good content. And it is just going to be untapped potential if you let your videos go to waste simply because of bad packaging, which is why I work on the packaging for creators so that they can be able to focus solely on making amazing videos that get them views and clients. And I handle the packaging. I stand at the forefront and I handle the packaging, the research, the ideation, every single thing. You might want to do it yourself, but you see, the thing is, I have experience from a lot of channels that I've worked with, and that experience is exactly what I am going to bring to the channel to be able to make the key decisions that gets you the click. You probably only have experience from your own channel, and you are looking at it from the inside perspective. And it is simply not an efficient use of your time researching the packaging after you've already done the work of doing the video, which is why it is better to delegate it. So if you want to work with me, there's going to be a link in the description. You can click that, book a call with me, and I audit your channel. And if it is something that I can help with, then we are going to take it further. This is not open for many creators simply because there is a number of people that I can work on their channel at once. So only apply if you are sure that you have good content and you believe that they could be getting much more views. So now that that is out of the way, let's talk about the trap. And the trap is simply, you've probably heard the saying, just copy what works. That could not be more wrong. I mean, if you look at this specific video from Hormozi, the original had 400,000 views. And then every single copycat were not able to break 4,000 views. Even though every single one of these creators are consistently getting 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, even 40,000 views, they were not able to break 4,000 views simply because they copied a packaging. Now, there are ways that you can't copy a packaging and make it work, but this is just blatant ripping off. Think of it this way. I am a person that is interested in business, and I saw a specific video. I watched it, and then I saw that same video again. I am most definitely not going to watch it. Why? Because I have seen it before. And if Hormozi is using it, it probably means that your ICP has seen it. So unless you have a better, much more unique angle, copying Hormozi in this case is probably not going to work. And these people also had the same title structure with him, which is building an X business for a stranger in X minutes. And this is why none of them were able to make this video an outlier, even though all of these videos were average of 1 hour. A lot of work and a lot of knowledge was put into the video. So do not fall for this trap. And it is better you ideate it and you add your own unique twist to the thumbnail or the title rather than just blatantly copying. And if you are interested in knowing exactly how the TKO framework works, how to make the research, this is for people who do not have the budget to invest in a packaging strategist. You can watch this video because it shows you exactly how I go about ideating my videos and getting them to become outliers. Basically, how I build the TKO framework from scratch for every single video. And here, if you want to work with me, reminder that there is going to be a link in the bio as well as in the description. Cheers.